Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Rome Business Radio. I am Roger Manus. We are broadcasting from the Hardy Realty Studios, and we work in cooperation with the Rome News Tribune. And this is the Hardy Realty Show. And our representative in this episode of the Hardy Realty Show from Hardy Realty is Michele Rikard. Hello, Michele. How are you?
Hey, good morning. I'm great. How are you?
Everything is hunky-dory here at Rome Business Radio. Would you mind introducing our guest?
Yeah, we have Braden Keith with Romega Digital and a couple other new ventures, which I won't steal his thunder. I'll let him introduce those. But he's a great he's an integral part of our community. So lots to hear from Braden.
Hello, Braden. How are you?
I'm doing quite all right. Thank you for that introduction, Michele. It's really exciting to be here with you, Roger. Thanks for inviting me on.
Braden, I think I might have mentioned this to you in a phone conversation a while back, but when I was, 7 or 8 years old, I actually started referring to Rome, Georgia as Romega.
Oh, really?
so I invented that. I don't know where you guys get off.
I actually have a royalty check heading your way, so all I need is address for you. But yeah, I felt like that was some low-hanging fruit, and I hadn't seen it a lot. I mean, there's Romega Place downtown, which is the road, and we really want to steal that street sign, but maybe one day the city will just gift it to us. But I thought it was some low-hanging fruit for Romega, and it's been a fun name to play off of.
Well, in 1973, I coined it, so you just do you find? I know we're getting into the silly here, but do you find that you're having to, or is the brand out there enough now where people know how to pronounce it, or did you have an uphill battle at first?
Yeah, it's an uphill battle for sure, and no one knows how to pronounce it, which is fine. I mean, it doesn't bother me at all. So it works on a couple of levels, right? So we mainly not mainly, but we primarily will do a lot of business outside of Rome. And a lot of folks end up calling in and talking to us. They pronounce it right every time. It's the people within Rome that are like Rome, GA, Romega. They're fumbling all over it. But, it works. It works. We're a digital marketing business. So I know the name of the game. I wanted when people typed in Rome, Georgia marketing or web and Google, we'd be the first to pop up, and that's just kind of worked out for us.
That's pretty smart. Sometimes a brand just builds its name over years, like Hardy Realty, but sometimes it has to be creative and eye catching and show up first in the Google search. So yeah. Good for you. So at your core, you mentioned you're a digital marketing agency. Again, what does that mean? That's websites. That's just if you could go down your list of services.
Sure. We have a wonderful staff here based right in Rome, Georgia, that is creating websites and providing marketing solutions for all the small businesses that are here. We've got a really strong market share in Rome. We've got a very good footprint outside of Rome. It's the basic things that every business needs as far as getting their business online, social media, websites, Google ads, SEO, SEM, that type of stuff. We're taking care of all of that. And we've been really successful in doing that. I acquired a business that was here in town about 5 years ago now. We're coming up on our 5th year of that acquisition. And the team that we've been able to build has been fantastic. We've got services for, the smallest of businesses up to the ones that are growing and starting to really bust at the seams. And it's a good spot for us because my background before I started this business was enterprise account management. I was doing engineering for enterprise accounts. So I'm working with Fortune 500 companies all day long. So being able to bring that expertise of what small, medium, and big businesses need, it's been a really good fit. So there's a whole portion of the business that most of Rome never gets to see. We've got a couple of customers under it, but we have what we call Romega software. And so we're writing custom software for businesses all across the country. And these are how we have the big names like the Boston Celtics and Chick-fil-A and Stanford Healthcare, and the list goes on. We've been very fortunate to get some very large names to trust us to create some custom software for their business. So that's the line of work that we do. A lot of my time is on the software side. I've got a whole team of people that really help businesses get their websites off the ground here in Rome. And we're just trying to service everyone that we can.
Did you see an opening in Rome in this, in this genre of work? Because I now see your websites everywhere. In full disclosure here, family business Manco Logistics just recently used you guys to do our website at mancolog.com. We're very pleased with the process and everything. So was there just kind of an opening in Rome to fill this need?
There is an opening in most towns that look like Rome. There's our competition is in Atlanta and about 4 times our price point. Our competition's in Chattanooga at about 4 times our price point. And we chose to be in a small city so that our costs were low, so that we can provide a great value to the businesses that are here. My problem was that I have to interact with all the businesses that are here and use their website and see where they are and all that. And online was hideous. And I want Rome to be a beautiful place. And I think my responsibility is to make it a beautiful place online, right? So I saw a great opportunity to do that. With this line of work, a lot of the problems that people have are, they know their nephew knows how to make a website and, it ends up not being great, or they go hire someone that is about our price point, but never delivers. They just end up spending money and then they disappear, and it's a fly-by-night operation. So being a dedicated service with full-time employees that are getting work done and delivering products at the lowest price point that we're able to do for the small businesses here in Rome, I thought was a real opportunity. And it's actually panned out. I would love to find more markets just like Rome so that we can continue providing this service across the country. And there's plenty of them out there that look just like us and act just like us that need Romega and their zip code. But we're fortunate enough to have that here right in Rome, Georgia.
Michele, how do you know Braden? What's the Hardy connection with Romega?
I actually first met Braden through the chamber. And then we, I don't even know how this all, his wife teaches my daughter ballet. So then we formed a friendship between families. Braden is, I have used Romega, and I have been fortunate enough for Braden and Romega to use me in the real estate. So it's just, and now we're neighbors. So it's just a lot like.
Michele can't get rid of us.
I love it though. And I sit here hearing him talk, and just when I feel like I get a good grasp on their business, I learn something new, and it just blows my mind at how far reaching they truly are.
Well, that's interesting. There were a couple of quick things. Braden, when you said earlier, it kind of flows off your tongue, the technology. You said SEO, that is search engine optimization. That means you can help a company pop up high when in a Google search. What was SEM?
Search engine marketing. So we differentiate those. So search engine optimization, we look at that as being kind of this natural approach to getting your website to rank higher. And there's a lot of things that we can do to say, you're on the second page of Google. We had one customer that wasn't even on Google at all. Like it's amazing. Like Google never even found their website. They are now the number one link on Google whenever you search for their line of business. So we had great success for them. SEM, we can pay for that positioning, right? We can do active bidding against your competition to say, it costs this much for you to be the first result up there. And those are those, sponsored ads that you see when you first Google that, a lot of people don't click because they think they're smarter than that. And there's a lot of people out there that do click, let me tell you that. And, we can actually pay for that placement and make it as cheap as possible for our customers to be number one in those results.
So those are safe to click. I'm not going to.
Yeah. Well, if they're run by us, they're safe to click. We make sure that we're working with people that are reputable and deserve to be in the first spot for sure.
Just not going to make sure somebody's going to steal my identity. So I do want to talk about the venture, the latest venture on the horizon, this event space. So talk to me.
Sure. Well, I'm just maybe self-defined as a serial entrepreneur. I like to have my hands in a lot and diversify, which was great through COVID because, with one side of the business not doing so well, the other one started doing better. And, we were able to weather the storms without missing a paycheck, which is kind of the big goal for everyone, right? So diversifying and, finding new things that Rome needs is just something that checks the boxes for me. Michele and I were able to find a space downtown 710 East First Street. Romega right now is at 508 East First Street. So we're 2 blocks down. This is right beside you guys' building, the Georgia Power, what used to be the Georgia Power building now.
Now the Manus Business Center, yes.
Yeah, so we're catty corner to you guys. You can see our building right as you're on Turner McCall and about to come downtown. I love it because it's like this cornerstone of downtown Rome is what I think of it as. And I looked at it. It's a little bit of an eyesore. I saw a ton of potential in it. So I got really excited about it. Michele and I were able to really find a great space that Romega is going to move into. There's going to be some office space for us, but there's this whole portion of the building. It used to be a church. And so there's this big portion of the building that was this sanctuary, bright red carpet, real eyesore, hard to see past. My wife and I have a pretty modern design. We're inspired by places like Chattanooga and Nashville and those looks. And Kevin Dillman's been doing the same thing on in the Arts District. And that look is just so beautiful to us. We want to bring that to Rome. So we're creating what we're calling the Neely. It's a corporate event space here in Rome, 710 East First Street. We're remodeling the whole place right now. We're going to make it look beautiful. We're going to make it look awesome. And we're hoping that, businesses that need that meeting space to come just plug in their laptop, start presenting, have up to 150 people in the room learning with them, doing trade shows, doing corporate gatherings, doing special events. If there's a reception type situation, a party that needs to be held there, this can house it all. It's going to be a place in Rome where these businesses can meet and have up-to-date technology in a modern environment to provide their services to their team and to their customers.
Wow, that sounds impressive, Michele. As a realtor, there's a big need for this, and you were able to hit a home run for Braden. Sounds like.
I think one of my favorite. I love entrepreneurs. I grew up just in an entrepreneurial family. We had a family in business, so there's just something about. I'm sorry, we have grass cutting outside. So if it gets loud, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I don't think we can hear it, but.
Okay. There's just something about that spirit, and to see when you see somebody just bursting at the seams with this vision, and it's all I can do to help them foster that, and just finding a space. And when you really, he and Adeline don't do anything subpar, this will be phenomenal aesthetically. And then bringing in his tech elements, it's just going to be a great space. And when you really think about our event space, we're kind of limited here in town. And I think more so over this past year, trying to find decent sized spaces to accommodate a variety of things. I think he hit a home run.
Was this? Who approached who? Braden, did you come to her and say, here's what we're looking to do? Or did this spot just kind of open up and your entrepreneurial thing went wow? Or did you have to look at several spaces?
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember exactly how it went down, but Michelle's family and my family probably grab dinner once a week as it stands, and constantly talking about a vision for Rome.
Let me just say thanks for the invite.
Oh, yeah. Well, coming your way. It'll be there with your royalty check for the Romega Day. But we're always talking about what Rome needs and what Rome can be, and how great Rome is now, and what we want to bring to the space, and just having those creative sessions with people that are inspired really helps. So when I drive past that building every day on my way home, I'm sure it just worked its way into conversation. I'm like, Michele, we just got to go look at this space and see what we can do. And I probably was mainly looking at a space for Romega, who's busting at the seams in our current spot, and we just need to keep growing the team and a place to house everyone. But this event space idea has been at the back of my mind for many, many, many years, mainly from my previous line of work. I used to travel the globe, really, but in a lot of places in the country, we would land. There was an event space that we would set up a table, do a quick trade show. And, it was a space for customers to just come in and learn about a lot of products, right? And these smaller event venues are all across the country and have been a huge success. And we just didn't have anything like that in Rome that I found that had the right aesthetic that I was looking for, and the tech that's required to pull something like that off. I've always wanted to see that in Rome, and I've got other ideas in my head. One day we'll find more spaces and bring the next thing to Rome. But that was the first thing when I saw this space. It was like, this is the spot for that. This is the spot.
What, are you a Rome native? What's your background?
Yeah, I went to Pepperell up through middle school. I used to live out in Lindale, then moved up to Charlotte through my high school years. My wife is from here, and she and I dated long distance forever. And I was up in Raleigh, North Carolina for a hot minute, and then got a position with a company that allowed me to live anywhere in the country. And so I picked Rome, Georgia. So I came back here and got closer to my wife. I've been here for the last decade now. Fully invested. Most of my life's been in Rome. Really love it here. I've been able to be in big cities and see what they're doing. I've been able to be in smaller cities and see what they're doing. And, Rome's just been always home to me. So I was excited to get back.
So your goal with this space was primarily you need to move your offices because you're growing. You need to move your people. So you're going to give up where you are now once you get ready to move in. But in addition to the event space, what else will the new facility offer?
Yeah, so our offices will take up the back portion of it. The Neely is going to be kind of this middle portion. And there's this office suite that's at the front of the building. It's like a reception area or an office of its own, and then two 10 by 10 offices right beside it. It's partitioned off from the rest of the building, and it's got its own entrance. So we're going to lease that out to the right business that needs a quick little place to land that checks the boxes of that they just need a couple of those. I'll tell you, in my world, my perfect vision for this, I would love to find a great church that wants to be in there on Sundays and take up the space and then need some office space up front for, their operations the rest of the week. I think that would be a great fit, but, it would also be great for, just the general office environment, anyone that's needing a place to land.
Michele, how often do you do stuff like this? Is most of what you do houses, but does this almost make your job a little more interesting and fun when it's something unique like this?
I primarily residential, sure. My commercial has definitely picked up, and I just truly love business. Like I am a business myself, so just helping other people. And this year I've had the opportunity to help a couple great spots. There's one a new shop downtown that's coming. We were able to relocate an existing office because your environment matters right now. Like you're more than ever, you care what is around you and how it makes you feel. Had somebody they were in a traditional stale quote office, and they wanted to move to this loft space that overlooks the river in South Broad. And then you have Braden, who actually needs more space. And was it bigger than we were actually seeking? Yes. But then what it turned into was just better than I think anyone could have imagined. So yeah, I mean, the commercial stuff is definitely, it's different, and people are readjusting what their needs are and how many people they actually need and what kind of space they actually need, and if they can be more creative with that. But yeah, commercial is definitely still, and you guys see it at the maintenance building because y'all have filled up.
I was going to say, with this event space now, will all the property values increase?
Hey, if I can do my part for Rome on that, I'm happy.
Well, just to quality of life, I guess is the wrong word, but quality of business in downtown. I mean, this will certainly help. I mean, this has applications for the chamber. This has applications for that small business that has to have a big event one time, things like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It brings a lot of value to the community. I mean, no doubt it's the same way that when Romega came to town and is providing quality websites and, marketing services, it's really helping businesses grow in a whole new way. The event space is going to be the same thing. And
what is the timeline?
Oh man, ASAP. So demos happening, all kinds of building outs happening. I've been in there almost every day doing something. So we're working really hard, we're working really fast on this. I'm hoping by mid-May, we're going to start looking at putting our first events in there. I've got a line of people, Roger. It's insane. I've already had so many people reach out to me and sign the dotted line with pencil so that we can, get this building done. But there's they're waiting on my timeline, and I'm like, we're working as fast as we can to get your events in there. And I'm just so grateful for the response we've already had of people that just need a space like this, or like, if it's there this summer, we're going to use it for a whole week. I'm like, great, please keep bringing those opportunities through.
Wow, that's fantastic. Getting back to your overall core, one of the things I wanted to touch on, and I guess this is maybe more of a pandemic question. Have you seen an increase in your business because of the pandemic, more people working remotely or taking the time to go, let me reevaluate some stuff, let's get our website redone?
Yeah. So what we've seen is a series of events happening through this. And anytime that there is something negative out there, the way my brain automatically looks at it is opportunity. So I'll go through the opportunities that we've had in the last year. When the pandemic first hit, my phone was blowing up for a week of people just canceling marketing contracts, not spending any money. We were all in survival mode. We were trying to figure out how long this was going to last, what it meant for our businesses. And the first thing people do is get rid of expenditures, right? So we lost a ton of revenue over the summer. It was really devastating for us in that way. But what it allowed us to do is refocus the business and say, all right, when we come back from this, because we're coming back from this, there's no doubt. When we come back for this, what is it that we want to be doing differently? So we adjusted our line of business. And what I mean by that is took this middle of the line product that we were able to provide and actually elevated it and said what it's lacking is a couple of additional expertise. We brought in the right expertise for that. And then we actually took a new product line for small businesses and introduced it at a very low price point. So we're saying that we can do a website for $800 and then $150 a month. Like that's insane, but we can do it, and we're going to figure out how we can get it down to that price point. So we worked really hard at that. And so it allowed us the breathing room to do that. And by the end of the year, we started seeing people coming back. All right. It ended up not being as bad as we were expecting. We got government money that came in. We were able to actually maintain sales, whatever the case may be for these companies. Towards the end of the year in December, I ran out of hours to sell. I mean, we had people at the door. I was like, we'll go ahead and, take a contract, but we're not going to be able to fulfill it till February. Right. So we started doing much better towards the end of the year. We ended the year about where we were the year before, where we had initial plans to double. We were on track to double last year. We ended up ending the year exactly where we were the year before, which is a huge blessing, and I'm grateful for that. But it hurts a little bit when you're trying to keep exploding, keep going, keep growing and all that. But, this will be our year for that. And we're continuing on this growth path. Customers are still coming in. They're ready to start spending again. They're ready to get in front of their next customer. So we're seeing a lot of opportunity out there for that.
How big is your staff right now?
We have 8 full-time employees. That's our current count. And then we have a number of individuals that are part-time employees that are helping out the organization in different capacities.
Gotcha. Michele, I guess the pandemic on the realty side, the real estate market has just gone great through the past year, hasn't it?
It's definitely an interesting position to be in a year where, things just seem to be kind of like barely holding on around us in a lot of ways, that we were still fortunate and active in our community, and how those needs came about. Like I talked about our environment. And so some people just hadn't been in their home for that long in a while. So it was interesting to see what that did to them, whether it was, if there were projects they just realized they were never going to get too overwhelming, wanted some outdoor space. So it was definitely a position where I ended the year feeling very grateful, and started the year wanting to change my mindset and how I give back this year. I just really had an initiative just because coming out of something where so many people didn't have a great year just kind of puts a little self-check on you.
Yeah, it has been interesting as we do a lot of podcasts here on Rome Business Radio. Everybody's had to adjust, and it's interesting to watch how some places adjust. Like there were restaurants without drive-throughs that improvised and added a drive-through, and they realize now they're going to keep the drive-through.
Yeah, incredible.
Because
and sometimes I think just as humans, it takes a little bit of squeeze, and we can really figure out what we're made of and push through.
Well, and I guess, Braden, did you guys kind of do that too? I guess in a way, you just kind of find new ways to make it work. You mentioned some people said, okay, I got to cancel my marketing, but okay, well, let's concentrate our efforts here. Let's find something to do.
Really, yeah, I would say the squeeze was on us for sure. It's May, June of last year were probably our lowest numbers that we've seen in a long time. And it definitely put the squeeze on us to be thinking creatively about what we could be doing, simplifying our services, but also really looking at the market and saying, what is it that people need right now? What's the new things that people are requiring? We kept illustrating to our customers saying, your customers are online now. They're not coming to your store. And you're not prepped for that. You haven't talked to us in the last year to make this happen. And now you're losing money by that inaction. So what can we do to provide a simplified service to get you online now? What can we do as quickly as possible for you?
Well, and again, going back to my customer hat, when so our listeners will know, when we did the Manco Logistics website through you guys, it was a very easy process. In fact, we did the deal. I forget what it was, the $800 something, $150 a month. And you provided us with several templates and said, pick the template that, and then, we provided you the content, and it was just this, you would send it to us. We'd check it. It was very clean and easy, and we're very pleased. Especially at that rate.
Yeah, I'm so glad to hear that. I really appreciate that. A few years ago, web agency would have never thought about doing template-based websites. Our value was in creating something custom from the ground up for every customer that walked through our door. Really, what I saw last year was customers just need to get online, right? They just need to get online, and it doesn't matter if it's completely unique from you versus anyone else. We really just need a web presence that puts our messaging out there that allows people to get in contact with us and interact with our own organization. So we wanted to just make that as simple as possible and as inexpensive as possible for these types of customers.
Well, and when I say template, the website looks completely unique. It doesn't look like anything else because you have your own pictures, you have your own logo, you have your own copy. You have, so from a code perspective, I guess from your back door, it's probably easier from a workflow perspective than if somebody does want custom. But you can do custom, and you're doing that for some big brands.
Yes, and it elevates the most expensive costs, which is that custom development, off of the product itself, and really allows us to focus the time on how can we help you craft that messaging, because you're still getting, we're still writing content for you that sells, right? Like we're a content driven agency. And so you send us bullet points on what your business does. We're going to write a homepage that makes your customers click. That's the whole goal. So that value is still there. And then the most expensive portions of that product that if you would have come to us for a completely custom what we call pro level package, would have been that custom development that solves a very specific need. So it's helped out a lot of small businesses. We were able to help 17 in the last, since we introduced that in August, we've been able to help 17 businesses get online in that way for that low price point.
Well, we had a website. It just wasn't very good. And now it's a digital first impression for your business. And if it looks clean and professional, which your product does, we're very, very pleased. So one of the last things we do here to wrap up is to give contact information or social media so people listening can follow you. Being in digital media, I'm sure you have a website and social media. So what's the best contact information to find out more about not only your services and website development, but I guess event space information will be hitting the website soon when you're ready.
Man, I tell you, we're running a million miles an hour right now. We got, RomegaDigital.com is going to be the best place to go for anything. All our contact information is on there. info@RomegaDigital.com is on the contact page there as well. That goes directly to my inbox if you need me for anything. feel free to reach out. If you're interested in being a part of the Neely, you have an event coming up that you want to place there, you want some more information, you just want to come by and see it, shoot info@romegadigital.com. I'll eventually have a Neely website, but right now we're just funneling everything through that one contact and really focusing on developing out the space. So yeah, send it my way. I'll get in contact with you, put you in the right hands.
Well, when you do a website for the event space, I know where you can get it done.
I've thought about that. We've shopped it around a little bit, but Romega's really standing out of the pack for sure.
And what's the origin of the name for the event space?
The Neely is the hill that the clock tower stands on.
I actually knew that, but I was going to make sure you did.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's tying in the love of Rome and
absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. Michele, if somebody wants to buy a house or sell a house, how can they get a hold of you?
I'm also on Facebook and Instagram, but it's my cell phone number. That's probably the easiest way. And it's everywhere is 770-241-0772.
Well, those real estate agents, man, they put their cell phone number out there. That's how they get the stuff done.
Isn't it so bizarre? But it is. I mean, it is our lifeline.
Well, so. I'm still one of those kind of middle-aged guys that technology is, I don't like giving my cell phone number out because I just feel, but I understand in your line of work, maybe you have two, maybe you have one for friends and family and you have one for business. I don't know, but those real estate agents, man, put that cell phone out. Let's sell some houses.
I mean, if we're going to do it, let's.
If I had one more line of communication coming in for me, I would just die. I mean, email and social media, all that's enough. I don't need one more.
Well, I often joke.
That is my line.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. It's I often joke about how technology has changed in my lifetime. I'm digressing here as we wrap up, but I was my father's remote control when I was a child. He would snap his fingers and say, "Son, put it on Gunsmoke."
Uh-huh.
and now kids grow up with iPads and phones and, anyway.
It builds character, Roger.
I guess, or it tells you how old I am. But anyway, thank y'all so much. Braden, congratulations on all your success and, look forward to seeing the event space, and way to go, Michele, and helping him find a home and just another part of the great Rome business community that continues to grow and flourish and provide things. So, thank you both so much for participating. I do appreciate it.
Thank you.
You have been listening to the Hardy Realty Show here on Rome Business Radio. We broadcast from the Hardy Realty Studios, and we work in cooperation with the Rome News Tribune. I am Roger Manus. Thank you so much for listening.